So I got another monster book to review, but since this one's a little intense, viewer discretion is advised. Old Man Grognard here, and today we have a monster book that is, I'm going to say specialized, because for one, it's kind of more adult-ish, and I'm not saying, really, what I'm saying is you're dealing with the stuff of nightmares here for the most part, which could be a good thing because this is very, very well done. I'm talking about Evolved Grottoes and Griffons, the Teriatric Tome by Rafael Chandler. This bad boy was put out in 2013. It's 119 pages, so it's a rather slim book, but so is the original 1E Monster Manual. In fact, here is the book. It is a hardback, and it's got about 90 creatures in here. They have, like I said, it's the stuff of nightmares, but they also have some familiar ones in there, but each of them has a twist, because they're okay. Well, as far as the creatures in here, let me give you an example here. Here's a page. See this little guy over here? He's a cross between a creature called an audience and a giant spider. Now, let me give you an idea of what we're dealing with here. An audience, in case you don't know, is when several of the tenebrous halflings near death, they would perform a necromantic ritual that transferred their souls into a monstrous body that had been stitched together by their chirurgeons. Within the new body, a floating sack of flesh adorned with tentacles. Each audience was a collection of diverse personalities. That's a sample of the writing, and that's a sample of kind of what you're up against. Like I said, he'd taken the familiars and taken a twist, and then he just went off on his own thing. And it's a brilliant thing, but not for everybody. And I definitely wouldn't drag it out if there were like kids in the game. Definitely. The artwork is beautiful by several different artists. I will say, another reason is there's some nudity in there and things like that, and some just grossness. It's not something I would want to expose my young child to. It's basically, I'd say at least they have to be at least 16 or 18 to do this, to really deal with this kind of stuff. For the familiar parts, like he was talking about halflings, he's got an entry of halflings in here. I don't want to meet these halflings. I thought they were talking about Sniverblin. They're really cannibalistic, underground dwelling little bastards, and they're just kind of I mean, when they die, they put their, their body into, they basically make themselves into shoggoths, and then some wizard. And this other thing, that other thing I showed you, this wizard rips the eyes out of all of them and makes something with a spider. So, it's a really original. I like it, but like I said, you gotta. But anyway, the guy. What he does is brilliant, because he's got this way of writing where I would like to see. I don't know if I'd ever campaign in his world because it seems rather dark. But he gives you little like tidbits of things, like when in the demons, where like one demon doesn't like the other, so he started the blood war, or this mage did this and blighted the land and stuff like this. And even the normal stuff, like the dragons in here. There's 10 dragons in here, and I wouldn't call them the run-of-the-mill dragons. I mean, I can't see them having different ages, because they all seem to be iconic type dragons. I'm not saying demigods or anything like that, but they could be the focus of a quest or an adventure. Kind of like Dragon Slayer. Remember Vermithrax the dragon? We got to go, kill the dragon and all that. This could be them. Either you could use like one, and go kill them, or you can use like one as a big one, and like 2 or 3 of them are as servant dragons that you have to like run the gauntlet through type thing. And it's like, oh, our land was blighted. You go over here and kill the bone snapper, the dragon over there, please, and that kind of thing. It just, yeah, it's original. I love it. They even have a being in there that's dragon-ish. What it is dragons who have been cast off from dragonkind. They turn them into like semi-humans with wings that don't work and stuff. And they say they go across the. I'd love to use them as they go. And it's like some of them go insane. Some of them cope by becoming part of the clergy. Some of them, they all try and cope with not being dragons anymore. And to me, that I could use that. That is great. And this gives you kind of an idea of what he's dealing with here. They've got two variations on owlbears that I kind of like. The tufted grizzly is just a really tough grizzly bear type owlbear. But the Kodiak hooter, oh boy. This is like a reverse owlbear. It's the body of a giant owl with the bear's head that roars and flies. So it's fun. They have two types of lamias. They have something called a verminated zombie, which is it's like a disease carrier. It's basically like a dog, a rat, a cat, or some verminish or stray animal that gives you necrosis. Oh boy. They have something called a blood fairy that it takes down people of power who have scandals. There's a lot of creatures in here who are specific to something. Like one deals with adulterers, one deals with thieves, one deals with people who are too haughty to bring them down. Things like that, and they're attracted to this. Here's a few more. You know what that is? That's a desert bullet. He likes to drag you into the sand and suffocate you, and then eat you. Oh boy. And if you're tired of a gelatinous cube, here's a gelatinous pyramid. This one's a little smarter than the average gelatinous cube. Not by much, but a little. How about this bad boy, an alpha hellhound? Don't tell me you can't use that in your game. That could be like the hellhound leader of a pack right there. Oh, and they have really nice tables, encounter tables for these creatures. I'm just sorry. I like these kind of tables, but trying to integrate it into a regular encounter table for whatever system you're running is kind of hard. Speaking of system running, this goes with any edition of D&D or anything, any kind of D class and level type game. This would go great in Lamentation of the Flame Princess. It would. Mr. Reggie, this book, you're always saying that the game masters should come up with their own monsters and not have pack monsters like orcs and goblins and stuff. Give them this book. These are all one-offs that they can use. So, yeah, this would go great with this. This is aimed primarily at 1E and Ostrich players because of the way the stats are written. I mean, they got full stat blocks and everything. But, you can extrapolate for that for basic or third or whatever. I mean, they've got a stat called Taz in there, which is called Target Armor 0, which is Thaco. So it's kind of a bone they throw to 2E, which is okay with me. I don't mind that. I'll take the bone. What the heck? They've got other things like they've got a few ghosts like a Battle Spectre, and they've got a few Guardian Skeletons in there and things like that. Some not so powerful because a lot of these seem like totally deadly, but there are some in there that you can deal with. On the more weird side, the Seamstress, which is credited to his wife Heather Chandler, it's basically a witch who likes to kill people and sew children and kids and sew their body parts and their skin onto herself or on her clothes. So yeah, that's one of the more mild ones. No, I'm not showing you the picture. The ones I showed you is like the mildest stuff I could find in the book. And they have one in here called the Cheridak. I like him. Remember me talking about the Bone Cobbler from Tome of Horrors Complete? This could be his neighbor. This is a monster that kidnaps people. He'll kidnap like 7 people for an audience because he is an artist. He'll take one, kill it, vivisect it, flay its skin for a canvas, take its innards for color, take its hair and stuff for brushes, and paint a picture of one of the other victims, a portrait. Then he will take that victim and kill it and do the same thing, and so on and so forth. Until you come to the last guy. The last guy doesn't get killed. The last guy gets the pictures. He says, here. And then the monster goes away. It's like, I'm totally like, what? Oh man, I'd love to throw that up against. Or you can't really, make the players go through that, but I mean, you could use that as a basis of adventure. What's killing all these things and leaving what are all these pictures being left behind? It'd be great. I mean, this would throw a major like curveball at the players. It'd be great. Anyway, Evolved Grottoes and Griffons Teriatric Tome. You can find it on Drive-Thru RPG now, Drive-Thru RPG or RPG Now. Pay what you want for the PDF. You want the book? $26.66 on Lulu. Great book. And, with Lulu, I always use a coupon. So Lulu's always running some kind of discount. And so I would just grab the coupon and do it. I usually use it because usually the books I buy on Lulu are pretty reasonable. But what I use the discounts for is basically cut down on the shipping. Because that's where it gets you. Anyway, Evolved Grottoes and Griffons, Teriatric Tome. Go get it. It's worth it. Just don't leave it around for the kids to look at or use it in the game when the kids are around. I mean, it's not it's not that evil book they put out for 3E, but I mean, it's pretty intense. But that saying, the guy's brilliant. Rafael, Chandler, yeah, kudos for you, man. Kudos. Anyway, that's my review. If you liked it, hated it, if you ever used the book, let me know at oldmangrognard@gmail.com or anything else, oldmangrognard@gmail.com. So, until next time, bye-bye.